Hello everybody and welcome to round 8 at Wheel2WR AL2, here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. Located on a man-made island in the middle of the mighty St. Lawrence River, like Melbourne, this track is a temporary road course characterised by unforgiving concrete walls and minimal run-off areas. Perhaps its likeliness to go-karting track is why F1 drivers enjoy this track. Here we have 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right. We will have 70 laps of this 2.7 mile circuit with top speeds of up to 210 miles an hour, and 2/3 of this track is at full throttle. We are in the softest of the Pirelli range with the soft C5, medium C4 and the hard C3s. The mediums are 4.5 tenths slower than the softs, hards are 1.36 seconds slower than the softs. Softs will take you about 16 laps, mediums 24 and hards 48. Drivers who are here will be looking to do a 2 or 3 stop, proving to be favourable, and we already look like we've got some wet weather to contend with, so we'll wait for the weather report to come in. But today I am joined by Vern, who will be co-commentating with me. Vern, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for having me this evening.
It's
very much. Sorry, go on.
Absolute pleasure to have you. Recently joined AL1 as one of our drivers, so we'll see how the AL2 drivers do on track today.
And so we've already got our first person leaving the exit, which is Woody in the racing point. Tough enough track as it is already, and the fact they've got some got some rain to enjoy as well will make this qualifying even more of a challenge for them.
Yeah, Canada is no stranger to weather changes. And Wednesday's race we had some dry start, some intermediate tyres in the middle of the race, back to softs again. So we'll see when the weather report comes in what kind of weather we got for the race. But as you say, Woody Wolfie, first car out for Racing Point. We will go on board with him as he starts his first flying lap. Bernie, happy to go through a flying lap of this circuit here with Woody?
Yep, so he's approaching down the back straight to the final chicane to start his flying lap. Pretty much every corner around this track, on the way into each corner, very easy to cut a corner, and on the exits, very easy to hit a wall and knock your wing. So he's now starting his flying lap down into turn 1, first of the 4 many chicanes on this track. Nice and tidy through turn 1 and 2. Probably a little hesitant on the acceleration out of 2. Turn 3, very easy to cut the corner on the inside here, and then hit the wall on the exit of 4. The kink through 5, quite easy to lose the rear in the rain around here. And then through 6 and 7, you want to get a good run onto this very short DRS straight, but again you've got to be careful not to hit the wall on the exit, because it does seem to want to drag you towards the wall on the exit there. Into the next chicane, you brake around sort of where the shadow for the bridge is, and again on the exit, get as close to the wall to get the run down to the hairpin. Probably the most forgiving corner on the track now, the hairpin. There's plenty of runoff area if you do go a little deep. Good acceleration, good traction coming out of the hairpin, and down the long back straight where DRS would be activated if it was dry. Obviously not the case at the moment. Final chicane, so easy to get wrong. If you club the curbs too hard, it will unsettle the car and either spin you or send you into the wall. And then just a blast down to the finish line. Tend to keep as far right as possible for the shortest route to the line, and beginning with a 1:19.9.
Yeah, good lap in the wet weather there. You could see he was struggling for a bit of traction on the back end several times coming around these corners. And as you quite rightly mentioned, track limits are quite punishing around here, so plenty of penalties we've seen on Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more today.
Plenty indeed. I think you and I were the worst 2 culprits. So yeah, we'll see many penalties this evening, and if it's wet, probably even more so than it will be if it was dry, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll wait for the full weather report to come in. One of our drivers will post up soon, either on the stream or in our Discord. So we'll see what
Maximum
the drivers...
nearly hits the wall coming through turn 5 there. Loose, the rear very, very loose there.
Yeah, just catching CHM on the grass there, so I wonder if what it has his involvement, but his lap is invalidated, so he won't be setting a time this time. Both racing points have put their times in, so they might be coming in, or Woody possibly going again? No, he's coming in.
I mean, we were saying that Woody's lap looked a bit sensitive with the traction out of the corners, yet his time is certainly a bit of a benchmark at the moment.
Yeah, Woody is quite high end in this AL2 league, so I'm not surprised to see him at the top. But as you say, that's quite a gap.
It's, yeah, 1.5 seconds at the moment, so it's a bit of a gap already for the rest of the field to catch at the moment.
Yeah, Xerxes doing well, putting it in 4th at the moment, only a 10th behind his teammate, who's currently sat in 2nd. Quite a few people crossing the line now. CHM, his lap was invalidated, and we have Cal for McLaren, usually picking up pole, but at the moment he's not set a valid lap because of track limits.
Again, looking very tentative on traction out of turn 2.
Trying to find someone who might be crossing the line having set a valid lap, which is difficult at the moment. Got the 2 Red Bulls coming round sector 3 now, but I think they're both going to be on an in-lap.
Every single car there is out on track within a sort of 4-corner containment of the track. It's very busy around the back end of the circuit at the moment.
Though it's quite a short track, obviously 70 laps here. On a dry track, you'd be looking at a 1:10 lap time.
Cal's lap is he's suffering here because he's caught the back of CHM, I think, who's also on the flying lap. And there, wheel banging down the back straight.
Yeah, you don't want to be battling on your flying lap. Certainly you want a bit of slipstream to assist you, but that won't have helped either of these drivers on that occasion. But as you say, Cal coming down, crossing the line, puts it 3rd. Very good time, as you say, considering the fact that he was tangling with the McLaren, with the Mercedes there.
Yeah, all the other McLarens popped up to P2 there as well. Unseen there.
Yes. McLaren leading the Constructors' title by quite a distance.
I will say now, I will apologise if I get any names wrong on this commentary this evening.
I'm sure you'll be forgiven.
Do not hate me for it.
No, these guys love the commentary. A few of them even listening during the race.
I couldn't do that. If I was racing, I couldn't listen at the same time. I want to concentrate, personally.
Yeah, I'm too easily put off. Way too easily put off. Oh, and Xerxes
seems to be going again. Oh, yeah, Xerxes up to P2.
Yeah, improved there, but still 3 tenths off Woody, nearly 4 tenths.
Oh no, Cal's coming in.
So CHM, is he going again? No, he's on the way in. Sega, invalidated lap. Blood and Sand, the only hat on track. Go on, sorry.
Old Dad Roll seems to be on a lap. The only one yet to set a time. 48.8 through the middle sector. Decent-ish traction coming out of the hairpin. I haven't seen the first half of the lap, so I'm not really sure how this is comparing to the rest of the field, but we're waiting to see how the final corners go. Very tentative through the chicane. Action, and this might put him in about mid-pack. That's P5.
Yeah, very good lap. Woody looking to see if he can improve. And he does improve by 0.666. That's surely a sign. The devil driving the car, and he's now nearly a second ahead again. James, across the line, improves by half a second. So let's see if we can find a weather report. No, no weather report as of yet.
So, yeah, we've got James in the race point just starting up now. If he can improve on his 1:23.5 he's set at the moment. A little bit more of a lively rear end on this lap.
Definitely looks like medium traction on that racing point.
Yeah.
But even medium traction in these conditions is quite tricky.
Yeah, I don't really know. He's 1.4 up on his personal best.
Well, that will improve his time quite well, but very shaky coming out of that hairpin.
How committed does he go through the final chicane?
Well, you can win or lose your lap here, can't you?
Yeah, very quite tentative, but good exit out of the corner. Doesn't keep it all the way right, but improves to P10.
Yeah, quite a big improvement on his time, 1.7 seconds, but I just say
Yeah.
only gets him up into 10th place.
There's more time there, because I would have said he lost time coming out of the hairpin, yet he still improved by 3/10 in the final sector.
Yes. I mean, again, this is where the weather report would show and tell quite a lot, because as we can see, Maxi crossing the line improves by 1.4 seconds, putting him into 3rd place. Very good lap. Maybe the track is evolving.
I was just about to say, I think, from my time to see me, I think it's actually stopped raining. I'm not seeing any more rain falling.
You are
the
right.
track does look like it's getting drier.
You
Could
are
have been
right.
for a lively, fast last 5 minutes here.
CHM 5 tenths quicker than his current best. Won't improve his position, but he is looking to finish off this lap. And he does improve, still stays in 13th. Who have we got crossing the line now? Cal up into provisional pole with a 1:18.6. The McLaren driver there trying to keep his pole talent up. He's got 4 poles so far this season, and this being the 8th race, he's looking to improve.
Well, we got some. Dad Rules has chosen the soft tyres.
Oh, he has.
Is this a end of session gamble, or is it just gonna be far too early for the slick tyres?
It is very daring, but as you say, the track looks like it's evolving. There may be a definite dry line coming on the track. And Sega improves by 1.5 seconds, improving his position up to 8th place.
Actually on a lap, half a second up on his personal best at the moment, just through the first sector alone. I think it is evidence that the track is definitely drying up.
Half a second could put him into 3rd place, and that was just on the first sector, so what other time can he recover? But we do still have 4 minutes left of this session, so still plenty of time for drivers to get out of it, and a couple people now looking on the medium tyres.
Yeah, they've selected the medium, they've not come out. Probably still debating whether it's worth the gamble. More and more drivers are considering it.
I think they are coming out, because Oh no, sorry, that's Prev who's come out. But Xerxes about to cross the line.
Will be an improvement. P3, 19.6.
Fair play, it's a good time.
I personally don't think it's ready for slicks. There's still spray being kicked up by these tyres, which is a bit of a telltale sign normally.
Well, just had the weather report in. It's going to be sunny for the race, which is quite interesting, because if these guys who are now looking at the slick tyres complete their lap, if they finish in the top 10, they'll have to start on them tyres, will they not?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, they will. If it starts dry, if they qualify on the dries in the top 10, then yeah, that set of tyres will have to be used at the first stint of the race. Which for me lasted 1 lap on Wednesday before I had to pit for a wing.
James is on an outlap. It's a shame we can't see any delta. A letdown estate is just crossing the line. That's an outlap, so that ain't going to count for nothing. Prev's just starting an outlap. Xerxes is coming in, and he probably don't have much time to get back out.
No, there won't be enough time for him to get a tyres change and back out in time.
Woody on an outlap. Dino on an outlap. We have McLaren of James. He looks like he's struggling. Just caught him tail ender coming out the hairpin, and he didn't have much traction.
It's right on the cusp, but I just don't think it's quite ready yet. Not for the slicks.
He's going for it.
Let down a state. Hold it, hold it. Only 2/10 down on his best, but that rear did not want to stick with him.
That's it, like you say, it might be teetering over to slick tyres where the intermediates aren't going to stick.
I mean, that was one thing that was debated in our race on Wednesday, wasn't it? When it started to rain for that short period, it seemed to get wet enough for the inters, yet the slicks still seemed to be as competitive.
Yeah, it was a very horrible choice. DRS wasn't deactivated, was it?
No, it didn't get deactivated at all. I think I was one of the few who didn't go on the inters just purely because I wanted to catch the pack. Yeah, the other thing, I don't think I've seen DRS get enabled in this session yet either.
Which is normally the massive telltale sign, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of courage from these drivers who've gone out on slicks, but I'm not certain it's the right choice personally.
Woody did improve by 2 tenths there on the intermediate tyres, but it's still 3.5 tenths behind Cal. So Cal might be keeping his pole streak as Woody invalidates his lap, so he won't be able to put another time in now. Dino crossed the line. He was 10 seconds down from his previous best, and he doesn't look to have much traction.
I'm just watching Sega going around. He's 4 seconds down on the slicks in the first sector, so it definitely isn't right for the slicks at the moment.
Yeah, James on the softs, he was 10 seconds down from his time. Cal's finished. Who else we got on track? Is that letdown estate? Letdown estate crosses line. 4 tenths improves, but it doesn't change his position, I don't think. Or did it?
No, stay P7. I think. Oh no, he might have gone up to P7. Actually, he might have just jumped to Sega there.
Yeah. James coming in. Woody invalidated, so he would be coming in. Sega. He's 6 seconds down from his personal best, so the slick tyres weren't the best option for this session.
If there was another 5 minutes of this quali, it might have been a good choice. But didn't quite get to that changeover.
No, but that wraps up our Canadian qualifying session. Looks like Cal has scored himself another pole, and with a dry, sunny race, are these cars set up for that weather? Because obviously the rain will have meant if these are running dry setups, it wouldn't have ran how they would have wanted it to. But part FOMO rules, you have to have your car set up during qualifying for how you will run it in the race.
Yes, most definitely. And that would have been one gamble they would have had to look at doing. Do they compromise their quality in a way to hopefully give themselves a better chance in the race?
But massive gaps at the front there. First and second, nearly a second ahead of the rest of the pack. So
the rest of the pack quite close.
Yes. But we have Cal on pole for McLaren with a 1:18.6, which is a good time on the intermediate tyres. As we said, it was getting quite tricky there with traction. But then Woody taking second place, Xerxes in third, James in fourth, Maxi in fifth, Old Dad's in sixth, Letdown Estate in seventh, Sega to Cos in eighth, Dino in ninth, Blood and Sand in 10th, Prev in 11th, James Laws in 12th, and CHM in 13th.
Yeah, it's an interesting qualifying session there. A lot of sketchy moments from a number of drivers to keep it out of the wall, but I don't recall seeing a single... Well, I didn't catch a single wing being knocked on the wall. Yeah, challenging conditions, and then they've got good resets straight into the dry conditions from what we've been informed.
Yeah.
A completely different approach now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cal putting it on pole, but Woody straight out of the box. He was setting fast times and didn't seem to invalidate many laps. Where I did see quite a few other drivers with the red maps showing that they had invalidated their laps. So again, you could have a winner here who crosses the line but then is demoted through penalties, either through the time penalty at the end, or the fact that here at Wheel to Wheel, after your fourth exceeding track limit penalty, you are then demoted for every track exceeding penalty you obtain after that. Brought that rule in quite a few seasons ago. We had people finishing second who had like 11 penalties. We didn't think it was quite right to let them keep second place, having cut one corner almost every single lap. So now, from the fifth penalty onwards, you are demoted a finishing place in the standings for each one you get.
That must be a nightmare to work out if it's many people are in the breach of that.
Yeah, it's something that we recently discussed. We go from the bottom up, but we don't do it as per the F1 rules because we're not even clear on what the F1 rules are. Because there was a race, I can't remember which race it was now. Was it Mexico? Where Hamilton and Magnussen was given grid penalties, and Hamilton didn't seem to drop as many because they did all the drops before they shuffled everybody up.
Yes.
But then even on the video that explains it, it says, but what if, say, Hamilton got 3 drops and then Max got 3 drops and they both dropped to a similar position, which order do they then reshuffle into? And even the video explaining it couldn't answer that for us. So at Wheel to Wheel, we just go from the bottom. If you drop, you drop until you get to the bottom, where then your drops hold until somebody else comes down near you. But this is normally the section where we go through the standings. AL2, we've got Cal leading the driver's title by quite a distance. He's 81 points in front of Xerxes. Xerxes doing very well to pick himself back up after DNFing in Australia. But Cal, lowest finish this season is third. 4 times on the top step, 3 fastest laps, now 5 poles. So force to be reckoned with. But Xerxes is really improving. He's relatively new to the game. He joined late last season. And really improving, getting right up there in the battles with Cal. Woody also putting on a phenomenal show. Woody is third with 138 points, 86 behind Cal. Sat on the top step twice, but he missed the first 2 races. He didn't join until China. So 2 races down, he's up there. Then we've got James, who is the second McLaren. He's holding up 4th place, and no surprise to look at the Constructors' title and see that McLaren is leading by 112 points, totaling 358. And Red Bull riding in second, very closely followed in front of Ferrari, there's only 3 points between them two. But at Wheel to Wheel, we have combined Constructors' Championship. So we take the Constructors' title from the AL1 League, and we take the Constructors' title from the AL2 League, and we make a Wheel to Wheel Constructors' title, which it's a very tight battle indeed. In the combined title, we have Ferrari leading with 524 points, and only 3 points behind is Red Bull. Red Bull not leading any of the league constructors at the moment, but they are very close to the top. But having said that, same for Ferrari. Ferrari and Red Bull are not leading either of the league constructors titles, but in the combined, they are both at the top, 97 points in front of McLaren. So it does bring a very interesting dynamic. It makes you want to look at the other league, see who your corresponding teammates are, and sport them. So Woody and James, no pressure, but Racing Point is in need of some points. We've got Pillars back in AL1, ready to score some decent points, but we've had a really good fill-in the shape of Xerxes. Xerxes has been reserving in AL1 and faring very well and scoring more points than me on some races. So well done to Xerxes.
Tell you what, that doesn't put any more pressure on me, does it? Being in McLaren now for AL1. So yes, I will do my best to get McLaren a bit further up in the combined standings there if I'm able to.
McLaren on the combined, where were they? They were third, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're third, but they're top of AL2 and bottom of AL1. So it's a massive comparison right there. So yeah, I'll do my best to get us off the bottom of AL1 and then. But combined league.
The McLaren drivers for AL1, they was the promoted champion from AL2 last season, but that just shows you the difference in pace between the two leagues, because AL1 is a rocket league. It's just phenomenal, the pace that these guys have got, and quite a few of them run low or no assists in AL1. Yeah. And it just shows you that's where you can gain your pace, but you've got to practice, because I've tried some of the low assists and just can't seem to manage with it as well as other people.
You do need to be persistent with it. I mean, I'm one of those who drives with no assists whatsoever. I ran with absolutely nothing on Wednesday night, which is why I had a very few sketchy moments in the race where I nearly binned it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
One of which right in front of you, I believe, out of the final chicane. But yeah, if you want to be committed to running no assist, you've definitely got to give it the time to get used to it and just develop your abilities to run with no assists.
Yeah. We used to do a pro league in AL1, in wheel to wheel, sorry. So we had a PL1 and a PL2, and obviously AL stands for assist league, so you're allowed to run assists if you like. However, you can run no assists if you don't want, which is what a few of the drivers like Vern does. So, but with enough interest, we can probably get the PL leagues back up and running.
Nope. We've had some collisions at the back of the pack already. Oh no, they haven't moved. Sorry, I thought there was a collision in the back, but they've not moved.
They're back on the grid, aren't they? So they might have some cold tyres at the start. But if you're watching the stream and you want to join Wheel to Wheel, find us on Facebook, find us on our forum site, find us on Discord. Anybody's welcome to join. We just induct all the drivers that join just to make sure that we have some nice clean racing where we can.
And from the races I have seen in recent weeks, it is ultra competitive in both leagues, so it is recommended. For those who don't know, I only joined last week. Yes,
Werner, league racer from other leagues, joining Wheel to Wheel. It's just something about a league race driver. You can't beat them. You just want to come in, you have a clean race, and nobody wants to sit here for an
stay away. it's very difficult to stay away from league racing as well. There's always something there that entices you back if you find yourself not racing for a little period of time.
So we have the drivers lining up, Woody and Cal, obviously colliding there. So they might suffer with some cold tyres at the start. In fact, we should go and see Woody on the soft tyres, Cal on the mediums. And in true Matt fashion, we have 5 lights. And boogity, 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 let's go racing in Montreal. We have a good race start there, and everybody's racing down. The second McLaren has had a phenomenal start. Cal dropping down to third, James up into second. Woody still out in the race lead though. No, he's taken the race lead, hasn't he?
Yeah, the league order is confusing us already.
Yeah, I don't know why it always happens to us. The timing board just all goes to pot. But Old Dad's great start there. He's up into 4th place, right behind Cal. Cal really suffering on that race start. I wonder if that is to do with the cold tyres and the fact that he is on the mediums. But Old Dad's was having a look on the outside there on these soft tyres, so he will have better grip.
Into the slipstream, coming into the hairpin. Would he consider having a lunge? No, Cal's covering the... Oh, he's on the grass. Do well to get that stopped, but does so.
A little bit of bump in there. Sega just catching the
Oh wow,
back.
3-second penalty already.
Missed that from James, but yeah, that might be punishing track limits. But Old Dad's really looking to get past the McLaren driver here.
Yeah, she might be taking a few laps to get the mediums up to temperature.
So Maxi looking like he just scored a position off Old Dad's. Or was it Old Dad's overtaking Maxi? I didn't catch that one.
Just trying to work out where the action is at the moment.
Yeah, Sega and Old Dad's. Old Dino and James at the back. There's some action going on there. But I can't take my eyes off Old Dad's really trying to get past this McLaren. But his predicted pit stop is looking for a 3-stop. But of course, with the wet qualifying session, drivers will have all the tyres in their remit available to them.
There you go, having a look down the inside of Old Dad's into the hairpin there as we've got Maxi and a letdown of stake. Letdown of stakes through to P6. Nice move down the inside into the hairpin. Back on course of Old Dad's. There's a little bit of a trainer building up here behind Cal, which might be a little bit of a surprise in the early stages here.
Yeah, but timing board all now hunky-dory, DRS enabled, so let's see how the racing will go from here. We've had 2 relatively clean laps of racing to begin with. Let's see what the other 68 laps are going to look like for the Canadian Grand Prix. Xerxes picks up a 3-second penalty.
Very early on to be getting 3-second penalties already. And, been hallmarks of a long afternoon for some of these guys.
Old Dad's and Sega, DRS activated. Maxi still on the back of the Red Bull of a letdown estate. Plenty of battles going on here, and DRS just opening the opportunities for them. So coming down the back straight now, I'm on board with Maxi. I can see Old Dad's. In fact, let's just flick to there because he has gained the position from Cal.
Lovely move down the held the DRS down into the final chicane. Nice to slow down on the brakes.
I think there was a couple of position changes just further back as well, but didn't manage to catch those. But DRS really critical here. As we said, 2/3 of this lap is full throttle, so DRS will only help you in those occasions. Unless you're the one that's been overtaken, then it really won't help you.
Definitely not at all. But from what I'm seeing here, the medium does not the medium tyre doesn't appear to be working all that well for the drivers out there who have started on that tyre. They're really struggling to keep up with the pace of the soft tyre drivers at the moment. As we can see, Woody's nearly got a 4.5 second lead already.
Yes. James benefiting from this race start. Cal on the mediums, possibly with cold tyres as well. But yeah, Cal, having taken pole, currently sat in 4th. Blood and Sand, DRS on Maxi.
Sudden move there. James Laws on Bino at the back. James Laws going through into P11.
Yeah, James on the medium tyres, so that seems to be working okay for him. Either that or it's a setup difference between the two cars that he managed to get the straight line speed. Maxi, 3-second penalty. A few people with penalties now. And we're only 5 laps into the race.
Maxi was right across the grass at turn 4. He must have gone really deep into 3 because he missed turn 4 altogether.
Vettel style.
Yes. Didn't go anywhere near the wall as Vettel did.
Dino looking to reclaim that position from James. DRS detection point just coming up, so Dino will have DRS, but he's already looking on the inside of the hairpin, and that is a phenomenal move. But James looking for the switchback on the inside. Dino kept the position. James will have slipstream, but I do believe that Dino will have the DRS, so this is a straight line speed competition, but Dino has run out of DRS. James not brave enough or stupid enough to try the move on the inside of the chicane there.
No, you have to be pretty much already past going into that final chicane and make that move stick.
You either have to be really confident or really cocky.
Yeah, most definitely. But if you're the car behind going into that chicane, yeah, best advice is to back out of it and try again.
Yeah. Oh, Maxi just catching the outside wall there and opening his DRS, but he's got Blood and Sand on his inside. And Blood and Sand has gained that position. Blood and Sand on the medium tyres. So these are starting to come alive now, 6 laps into this race.
It's a good move into that chicane. It's not the most popular overtaking point on the track there. It's a really good move there from Blood and Sand.
I think Maxi hitting the wall probably didn't help his cause, and I don't know if he's got much damage because he's got Xerxes now already passing him. Oh, and Maxi!
Oh, there goes Morwing. Definitely hit the back of Xerxes there into the final chicane.
Yeah,
and that's the danger. That's the danger of the pit lane entrance there.
That is a very dangerous pit lane entry, isn't it? Because you got the guys braking for the corner before you'd be braking for the pit lane. And I think that's exactly what happened there. Maxi wanting to go into the pits, didn't even consider the fact that Xerxes will be braking for the corner.
And while that was happening, CHM has passed James Laws, P11 at the back as well. So, yeah, James unfortunately losing a couple of positions over the last couple of laps.
Yeah, but he's fighting them well. He's up against it.
He's definitely not giving up. Didn't appear to have the traction there though, so even though he's got DRS, he's not going to be anywhere near the opportunity of overtaking.
No, he is losing out, but who will have DRS is a letdown estate coming down the back straight, and he was looking at the gearbox of Sega to cars, but Sega in the slipstream of Cal. Cal really dropping down the order now.
Oh, Dad's just outside of the DRS zone as well, further up the road.
And Woody 5 seconds in front now, really capitalising on that race start where Cal just didn't seem to manage to get off the line as well, and Woody just took the race lead and has ran away with it.
Yeah, on board with a letdown here of States coming into this beginning of the second sector. We do have DRS down this short back straight, but it's probably one of the more pointless DRS zones there are on the F1 calendar. it does make more sense to wait until at least the hairpin. So the next detection point for DRS is about now. And that gives you the next DRS for the next 2 straights. So we'll see if you can get good traction out of the hairpin. Those Cal, I think, made a mistake on traction there. Sega's got to run.
Sega, he was outside of DRS on the detection zone, so he has pulled alongside Cal. He's in front, but Cal is on the inside. No, he's dropped behind now. And
Letdown's got DRS on both of them. Neither the cars in front of DRS. This could get tasty.
Cal on the inside coming into turn 1. And they've just reshuffled back into original order, but Cal, I think, doing a good job retaking that position off Sega.
Yeah, he made sure he got the run out as the letdown estate gets a penalty. Yeah, Cal made sure he got the traction out of the final chicane absolutely right to get the run into turn 1.
Oh, no!
Oh, and Blood and Sands has knocked his wing as well, I'm afraid, there.
And Xerxes, I think, caught some of that. That's really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. Both Red Bull cars missing an end plate, so they may be looking to double stack.
Yeah, Letdown Estate might be having a bit of a long pit lane time here if they both end up hitting for a wing, which looks like they're going to have to do. Really unfortunate incident there.
Yeah, old dad's DRS on James now. James is Dazzy Bond #1 fan.
Yeah, figuring it all out, I'll be with it. Just have to wait and Nissan of that, so yeah.
A letdown estate is carrying on. Xerxes is in the pit. Blood and Sands is in the pit.
Probably a wise decision from a letdown estate. Do another lap and then pit. So
yeah.
There's as much time in the pit lane itself.
Real
James
unfortunate.
Law's in the pits as well.
James Law on the medium. Did he get caught up in that incident? Yeah, he's got a wing change. That's not what they wanted on that medium set of tyres. You didn't want to change them after 9 laps, but never mind. We carry on. Old dad's still on the back of James. Woody 7 seconds now in front of Maxi. I'm sure that's his 3rd penalty I've just seen come up.
I was going to say it's 2nd, but it might have been that might be his 3rd. You might be right.
Yeah, Maxi already on 9 seconds worth of penalties. Really not forgiving this track for the track limits. But old dad's romping down to the back of that McLaren, coming down into the final chicane. Both cars take the corner very well, but old dad's will have DRS and he's coming now alongside James, crossing the line, taking the position. He's on the inside for turn 1. Can he keep hold of the position? James is fighting it all the way. James keeps the position.
Very good. Old dad's a very good run down the turn 3 though. Oh, James holds on very well there around the outside.
He does. Big cojones to hold it around the outside there, but old dad's surely picking up a warning for crossing the line there.
All 4 wheels across the curve of turn 3 there.
But to be fair, I think anybody would have done that just to make sure that you left the other car room.
Well, let's try again, but while these two are fighting, Woody is just running away. 8.5 seconds clear now.
Yeah, Cal, I mean, strategy might come into play. Cal starting on the medium tyres, but there's only 4.5 tenths deficit between the 2 tyres, and there's definitely more than 4.5 seconds, 4.5 tenths difference between their lap times currently.
Well, Dad's not getting as good a run this time around, so he's not in a position to look at turn 1 again. Have to be a little bit patient. Work this one out.
But 11 laps on them tyres. Maybe looking at another 5 to 8 laps on these tyres before they'll be looking to swap. Oh, and old dad's crossing the line there again. That's got to be 2 warnings.
Yeah, that should be 2 warnings in 2 laps there. He's pushing really hard. He's got a lot more ERS at the moment than James ahead of him.
Xerxes
sets the fastest lap in his pursuit to catch up to the pack.
Yeah, and he's still on the back of Blood and Sand. I think Blood and Sand pitted at the same time.
Yes, he did. A letdown has stayed out. I think he's going to try and see it through to his first pit stop window.
Might be sensible.
Lose time in the meantime, but yeah, in the long game, it might be not a bad decision to do that.
Maxi on Dino. He's overtaken him before the hairpin, but I do believe he was behind on the DRS detection point, so he might be in front of him and have DRS, which he does.
That's how you want to play it. That's how you want to do it.
Just to rub salt into the wound.
Gives the person you've just overtaken no opportunity to think about overtaking down the next two straights unless you just make a mistake.
Xerxes very close to the wall of champions.
A little bit of a soft spot there for Maxi. He's running my race number as well, so yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's ramping up the field again now, so he's now looking at CHM, but he does at the moment carry the most penalties, so he does need to make these places up so he can run off in front before his time is demoted come the finishing. And that DRS zone that you said was pointless, he's just overtaken there.
Just to really wind me up there. A lot of that was done on the traction out of the previous corner. Just a much younger soft tyres he's on compared to CHM. Really did benefit in there.
But Maxi now running away, already outside of DRS.
Xerxes on the back of Blood and Sands, trying to get himself back up the field. No ERS to help him though, he's completely empty, but he's lunged it down the final chicane, cuts the corner.
Oh, he did.
Now that was talked about in the group chat earlier on today, wasn't it? About how drivers should play it if they cut the corner while in the middle of an overtake.
It was more the fact of if they cut the corner, which gives them the chase advantage and then overtake after, but
yeah.
Clearly I think Xerxes might have just been ahead, but he cut the corner to stay ahead, so I don't know. That would have to be reviewed by the FIA,
yeah.
I think. Something that I wouldn't want to comment or make judgment on the race, but I think we now have another overtake on this DRS straight down the back.
I'm just going to walk away. I'll let your normal commentator take over next week.
But some brilliant action here. Now Blood and Sand having a look on Dino and already making the position up. Who was in front at the DRS detection point? Let's find out.
I think it'll be Blood and Sand who gets the DRS. Yeah, he does.
But he's got no overtake, whereas Dino's nearly got a full remit of overtake. But Dino now into the pits, 13 laps on them softs. It just shows you the pace difference in the age of these tyres.
Probably a little early, but I think just with comparison to the drivers around him, it was just exacerbating the fact that he was just falling down the field on the older tyres.
Yeah. But Cal looks like he's now reclosing that gap to Old Dad's, but is there a little bit of team orders here? Is James holding Old Dad's up to allow Cal to catch up on his medium tyres? Because their medium tyres will probably be better than them softs right now.
The gap has slowly... Oh, as Old Dad comes in, James cuts the corner and gets a penalty at the same time.
14 laps on them softs, and he's gone to a fresh set of softs. I think I did see he's going soft, 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 medium for his strategy.
The aggressive route on the heavier fuel.
Maxi.
Old Dad's coming out right behind his teammate on this unusual pit exit.
I think Xerxes just made a place up on Blood and Sand. down the back straight. Old Dads is very close to Prev. Old Dads having just come out of the pits behind his teammate.
Yeah, if there are any communications there, you would probably think Old Dad should be being let through.
After the DRS detection, I'll be like,
Yeah.
give me DRS down these 2 straights, and I'll leave you to it. Although Prev could be coming in next. It's around that time as our race leader is now pitted, as
And
has
James as
James, which will put Cal on his first lead lap.
Mediums for the both of them.
Now, yeah, Prev is staying out. I was quite worried there that Prev was going to be pitting and plough straight to the back of his teammate in front of him. But James opting for a set of mediums, as is Woody. Did you just say that?
Yes, I did.
He did, yes.
It's fine. There's a lot going on.
There is. And there's only 13 cars on track. We've had 20 before, and I don't know how we kept up.
I let down the state's done all right on this stint with the lack of front wing he's currently got. Kind of kept himself in touch.
Well, he's certainly been going to cause some problems for James now. James on some fresh mediums. Probably got a lot more traction and pace in them tyres than a letdown estate will, but a letdown estate has track position. But James could take a letdown estate here, but he has to consider the fact that he has Old Dads immediately behind him as well. And now we're going to have Red Bull as the meat in this battle.
Let down estate has backed out and actually wanted to pit.
I don't blame him.
Oh, that
3 abreast there.
That would have been tight. But yeah, James manages to hold on there against Old Dads, which is crucial for him. This battle that, in theory, is P2 on the road once Cal makes his first stop later in the race.
It'd be interesting to see how the strategies will pan out together, because obviously Cal, now in the race lead, started on the medium tyres, but he did seem to lack pace compared to the front 2. I mean, they were on the softer compound, but Woody really romping away with it.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic first stint. Old Dads, who's on the softer compound compared to James at the moment, not surprising to see him right on his gearbox, looking to make a move down into the final chicane. Last past him with a DRS. Oh, near the wall though. Should be able to keep in front of him with DRS and burning all his overtake. But that was a hair-raising moment there, nearly into the wall of champions.
Yeah, I think it really caught James off guard as well, because I was looking back from Old Dads there, and James, as you were saying about Old Dads into the wall, James was very close to the back of him.
Yeah, because Old Dads would have had to be off the throttle there, otherwise he would have hit the wall.
Yeah,
He had nearly caught them both out.
But Old Dads, purple sector 1 there.
Oh, let down the state is pitted again. Did he forget to change his wing? Or has he knocked it off again since he pitted only a lap ago?
I'm not sure.
He's at the back of the field now. Second to last with the pit lane exit.
Maybe, like you say, if you don't set it to yes sometimes, it won't change it for you, will it?
Yes, the game thinks it's not enough damage to warrant a change, yet you really do feel it with just any kind of damage on the wing.
Yeah.
It's really noticeable. I always make sure that I have it set to yes before I even start the race. So that if I do knock it, it does get changed.
James, real great exit there out of turn 2. But Old Dad's knowing where to put the car. Unfortunately not there though, because that's just won him a penalty.
shows how hard they're pushing, and that might, yeah, just trying to keep him James in front, behind him. Sorry, forcing him to make a few little errors, and it's cost him a time penalty.
Yeah, he was pushing hard there, wasn't he? Rode the curb too much, lost a bit of traction. Well, got a comment on the stream. Joan Garvey, go on, Sean Boy. I don't know who Sean Boy is, but go on.
I'm not going to mention my comments on the stream because they're all from my former league who are calling me a traitor. So we'll gloss over that.
Well, there are spots that they can fill if they're happy to join. I'm sure a few of them I've probably raced with not too long ago. But James looking to close that gap to Old Dad, still a distance away, but he doesn't have much overtake to get the job done. But equally, Old Dad's doesn't have much overtake to defend with. But James really good on the traction out of some of these corners, because he really does get close to the back of Old Dad's. And I think saw some moves going on there.
We had about 3 moves there, I think. I'm just trying to work out what was what there. We've got Maxi in the pits, so that might be one of the factors there. So I think Blood and Sands and Sega have jumped in front of me, maybe Xerxes as well.
A letdown estate, just making his way past James before the final chicane.
Oh, we've got Woody on the back of Cow at the top, at the front here. For the race lead. And those fresh tyres just blasting past. That's a statement. He's a pit stop ahead of Cow.
He is. But that just shows you the pace he's had on them soft tyres, which capitalised his first stint. 2/10 quicker on his personal best than a purple sector 3.
Oh,
Probably
well,
helped.
Dad's hit the wall at the final corner. James has got a massive run of him into turn 1. Don't think I saw any wing come off, but there was a definite clout with the wall.
He does still have both end plates. He is struggling in front of James. James on the harder compound, but Old Dad's, since getting past him, seems to have lost a lot of his pace over that, or the slipstream James is getting is so powerful. And just finding out that Sean Boy is Blood and Sand. Blood and Sand doing a great race today. He's had a few good races recently, to be fair.
I was going to say, he had a fantastic race last week, didn't he? Getting a podium.
He did.
Blood and Sands is someone I know from years back. He was part of the previous league I was in back on 2015 through 17, I believe. So someone I've known for a few years now.
Yeah, I think Blood and Sand was about when I first started Wheel to Wheel, but he left for a while and he's very recently come back, but he's come back with a bang. As you say, podium last week. He's really showing the boys what he's got.
Yeah, it's definitely showing his own. James not. Oh, yellow flags.
That's Maxi.
Maxi letting.
Yeah, he's missing half a wing there, so he's caught something. One lap on them medium tyres is probably not what he was looking for.
It's not the left side of the wing, so I think he's hit the wall out of turn 7 to knock that side of the wing off the car. Yeah, that's those mediums he could reuse later on if he wants to try and recover his strategy, but which is what I did. I started on the mediums, pitted 1 lap in, and reused the tyres at the end of the race.
The only thing I wish they'd say on this game is when you're looking at putting a used set of tyres on, I wish they'd say how used.
Yes, that would be nice. Yeah, so you know you're not putting on the 20 lap old set that you use earlier in the race.
Yes. James DRS coming back at Old Dad's again. James does really get a good exit out of this last chicane, but even DRS, he doesn't seem to have the straight line speed enough. But he's
around the outside though. Around the outside, turn 1. Yep, gives him the inside for 2. But Old Dad's coming back into 3. This is going to get tight again. Oh. James holding on again round the outside of 3, getting the inside for 4. And, up to P3.
Some great
Fantastic
racing there. Yeah. Even better than the Formula 1 drivers of Hamilton and Vettel around that corner.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be hearing any moaning there, that's for sure, from these two.
So I did see some position changes between Dino and James Laws.
I don't think this battle is done, as I think Old Dad's has got the straight line speed. He's right on the gearbox again. Into the final chicane, and he's through already. He's definitely running less wing than James.
Yeah, you could tell the difference. The straight line speed, James just doesn't have it, but round the corners, James has got the pace and he's shooting down into turn one.
That's too deep. 10 for effort, unfortunately didn't quite come off.
10 for effort, 0 for execution.
I didn't want to say it like that. I didn't feel like I was been in the league long enough to say comments like that.
I'm just a commentator, I don't know anything. I don't know what you're on about.
That battle's going to go on for the rest of the race.
Old Dad's just catching the wall on the outside there. Still got both end plates. He's caught the wall a couple times now, so he's really finding the limits of this track and pushing them a little bit. It's that old phrase of it's easier to chase than be chased. I think that's what we're just seeing here. The car in front just cannot shake the other driver off. No, but when he did get the position, the lap after, Old Dad was like, thanks, I'll just have that back.
Exactly. Oh, James gets a massive run out the final chicane. Nearly runs into the back of Old Dad's. I think James definitely has the pace advantage. He just can't. He just doesn't have the straight line speed to pull away.
No.
When he does get in front.
And Old Dad's doing a class job positioning his car to make the overtake as difficult as possible for James.
James really is trying hard to keep within keep the gap as small as possible. The rear stepping out of him there around turn 6.
Oh, missing an overtake. Maxi on Dino.
Using those fresh tyres to help him back up through the field. Sets the fastest lap in the process.
Yeah.
James coming back again, but again, no ERS to use to help him. I think that's what's really suffering his straight line speed. It's just no battery to help him. Put alongside and it's pretty even, but he's just got the grip to brake later and get the traction out the corner, as we've just seen there.
Yeah, that was probably the best move I've seen James do on Old Dad's there. He's got the position now, but he's got the downforce, like you say, so now he's got to capitalise on these corners and get as far front as Old Dad's as he can.
Yeah, that's the best opportunity he's got. Make the overtake at the start of the lap. Got pretty much a full lap to try and pull a gap now, which he hasn't been able to do up until this point.
Let down a state picking up a penalty. Only got 4 drivers without a penalty, which just shows you how strict the track limits are. And I think James might have actually got outside the DRS window of Old Dad's there. No, he was just inside.
Old Dad's hasn't got DRS on my screen.
Let's flick to a letdown estate on CHM.
Letdown estate trying to recover through the field after the collision that affected, I think it was 4 cars in the end, I think.
It was, yeah. Really unfortunate as well, because, you know, there was some good battling going on, and then the 2 cars that collected Sega afterwards was very innocent bystanders in the whole thing.
got blood on the sands in the pits at the moment. Having done 17 laps on that set of softs.
And
that's gonna be yeah.
oh,
I was just about to say that was gonna get tight. He better be quick. Maxi is approaching.
wow.
Committed there from Maxi. Didn't seem to let off at all.
Fair play. Let down a state. I don't think he did get wing damage from that. It might affect his wing a little bit, but he's got both end plates.
It looked more wheel to side pod kind of contact there. It didn't seem like he got far enough lopsided, and he didn't look. He didn't feel. I don't think he looked like he was too confident on the brakes without braking. He was a bit tentative, just to make sure he left him room.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't go side by side through that chicane.
Well, sometimes you need to look at who you're racing as well, because obviously when you've spent a little bit of time in the league, you get to know the drivers, and CHM is you need to be confident when you're overtaking him, because he follows the racing line quite strictly sometimes, and if you're on the inside, if you're not far enough up on his inside, he'll take that corner as he normally does.
Yeah, and to be honest, he was entitled to do what he did. He was still ahead, and if he didn't turn in any later than he did, he would have been going across the second part of the chicane.
Yeah.
So it's not much more he could have done there, I don't think.
Difficult to judge, but you know, if point of views was in the steward's room, then you may get a different angle on it. And
yeah.
But it's very easy to watch back afterwards when you can sort of freeze frame and see where the tyres were, and
multiple angles and opinions and
rather than split second race decision. That's why I did it.
What's going on here? James Law's been lapped, I think that is. Or was unlapping himself actually on the Ferrari. Confused me for a bit there. So James Laws was actually inside of the Ferrari. Confused me for a moment.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with ghosting on, the blue flags don't really work on the game, so we try and monitor it ourselves. Because we really discourage lapped cars ghosting into other cars, because it's really off-putting when you're trying to find your braking point.
Yeah, it's massively off-putting. In my previous league, I think we left ghosting off just because it just seemed easier.
Yeah.
For the most part of the members of that league.
We had ghosting off last season, but they voted to put it back on this season, because sometimes it's difficult to get the AI level right, and then when you have somebody disconnect and then their AI car's driving around, it's difficult to try and get.
Yeah, that's the balance you've got to find, isn't it? With ghosting on or off, there is that risk that you do get AIs causing havoc. Maxi is past CHM down the straight that I said no one could overtake on.
Said about 3 overtakes now.
I think he's responsible for 2 of them. Xerxes sets fastest lap and Old Dad's in the pits.
Yep. So that's Old Dad's second stop now, onto a set of mediums. So he's gone soft, medium.
Changed to his strategy, so I'm pretty certain you said he was soft, medium according to his strategy at the
It was, but
race.
Yeah.
He's also changed that.
If I was going soft, medium, I would go soft, medium, soft. So you've got to shout at fastest lap at the end.
So shout out to Cal, just making those mediums last. 30 laps. 31 laps nearly.
Well, if you could do 31 laps on some mediums... Ooh, and he was very loose on the back end there. If you could do 30 laps on the mediums, then I think you could do a one-stop, which I think would be pretty crazy to attempt, but that might be what his gameplay is.
To be honest, if you're looking at doing the one-stop, you want to go medium to hard, and if that was the case, you'd probably want to pit now.
That's what I mean. If you can do 30 laps on the mediums, you could do 40 laps on the hards.
Yeah. Being interesting strategy, and he might be thinking that on the fly with the first stint he's had, it probably hasn't gone to plan fully with the bad start he got. He maybe changed his mind in these opening 30 laps to try and get Woody on strategy if he can do that at all.
Yeah, because as you say, Woody is he's a pit stop ahead really, and he's nearly 2 pit stops clear because he's nearly got a pit stop in time.
Yes, he's only about 16, 17 seconds for a pit stop, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody's in a really good position right now.
But anything can happen. You know, it's not uncommon to see a safety car with all these walls around, so still, all to play for. Blood and Sand looking like he's the next to be looking to make a move on some fresher tyres than Prev.
Press 13 lap old mediums though will still be in good condition though, so he's not going to get a massive advantage on the 9 lap younger mediums that he's got right now.
Oh, and Dino very close to the back of CHM. I think both cars have just been lapped.
Oh, and they let down the States, missed the final chicane and taken out the board that defines the way you're meant to go. When you cut the final chicane, so there's now a bit of debris across the track with the polystyrene. James gets a penalty. As Cal finally pits.
Is in the pits. Let's go and see what tyres he's putting on. He's putting on a set of softs, so he isn't doing the one stop.
No, that'll be a aggressive 2 stop.
Yeah.
Should be soft to the end from now.
Yeah.
Which can be done, but so you've just got to make sure you get those mediums to last far enough to make the 2 soft stints of reasonable length still, but still make them work.
Prev taking a very interesting line there. He's very much on the inside coming down the final straight, but Blood and Sand with DRS assistance is taking the position from him.
Yeah,
relatively easy done. Back down to Dino again. Dino pretty much no overtake, whereas CHM has got nearly a full battery in comparison.
Most of it now.
But 17 lap difference in the tyres as well. And Dino's just nowhere. Looks like he's dropping.
I think we might have just missed an overtake there actually.
You might be right.
It would just be interesting to see what Cal can do on those softs now to the guys in front. If there's anything he can do about Woody, or whether he's looking at P2 for the day.
Yeah. Purple sector 3, no surprise there, and now the tyre difference is the opposite way now. So whereas earlier it was Woody and James on the softs and Cal on the mediums, it's now Cal on the softs and Woody and James on the mediums. But Woody 32 seconds in front of Cal.
That's nearly 2 pit stops.
Yeah.
And Woody will be able to see that on his display while driving as well, so he might try and use that to ensure he doesn't lose too much time on a slower, older set of tyres.
Well, Woody's teammate won't have... Woody won't be thanking his teammate for much because he's just given Cal DRS.
Yeah, this should pretty much cement them fastest lap, I reckon, here. Yeah, 11.8.
Ooh, an old dad with a penalty.
She's looking through us 8/10 quicker than anyone else right now, that fastest lap.
No way.
Yeah, the next fastest is Xerxes on the 12.6.
But Cal and Woody both no penalties.
Again, very impressive for the pace they've shown to not have received any penalties up to this point.
Yeah. James 9 seconds, so Cal technically already second. Xerxes with 9, Old Dad's has got 6, Blood and Sand has got 9, Sega has got 3, Maxi's got 12. So one more penalty from Maxi and he will be demoted a position in the finishing standings. A letdown estate with 6, Dino with 12 and James Laws with 9.
That gap is coming down very, very fast. Counter the guys in front.
Yeah, he's knocked a couple seconds off already.
Just how long can you keep this pace up? Bit of a I'm not going to call it a lulls. It's a really good race, but there's not really any battles out there at the moment.
No, there's not many going on, but you said about Maxi earlier sporting your number 91. So what
Yes.
makes you pick that race number?
There was no real thought process at all. It's just the year I was born was 1991, so that was just the way I chose my number there.
That's exactly the same reason as why I choose 86, to be fair.
Yeah, the other number I may have considered in the past was always in use by another driver, so I kind of just let that one go. I've just stuck with 91 for ever since you've been able to choose a number on your own cars on the F1 games.
Letdown estate pitting, critically getting out in front of CHM. Obviously CHM he tried to overtake earlier and was involved in an incident. So Critical is now back out and in front. James Laws very close to the back of Dino also.
Passing him again. Down the straight that I said no one good. So, yeah. Gone deep though, so he's got to
let
him back through.
Yeah, very reasonably. He does hand the position back. But both cars...
The game might have still given him a warning though, because he didn't go the other side of the bollards. The game can be quite precise with that as well.
Yeah.
There might have been another warning there. And look into the... Yeah, straight through. If you can get it slowed down this time.
Oh, and he does get a penalty for crossing the...
No.
Oh no, that was Dino.
Dino got a penalty. I think he looked to try and straighten up the chicane to get the exit and just cut too much of the first part of the chicane.
But I've seen... Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, Cal will be with James in the next couple of laps at the pace he's going. And to be honest, if I was James, I probably wouldn't even consider fighting him. I'd just let him go, being teammates.
Yeah. The two get on quite well, to be fair, so I think there'd be communication between the two. It wouldn't be a hard battle.
No, it wouldn't make sense to.
You know, they're both scoring phenomenal points for McLaren, so they'll both be interested in finishing the race as high up as they can as a team.
Yeah, Cal will be looking to just continue his run of podium finishes this season.
Yeah, which he stands well to do at the moment, with relatively young tyres on, and looking like he's already got net second, and very soon to have on track second.
I think they'll use the tactic that you were mentioning earlier. Give Cal DRS for the final two straights and then just let him through before the chicane.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think this DRS is typically good for just making sure that you're well within that detection point for this one.
Should get it done into the chicane if they are communicating and working together.
Oh, I think it'll be long past him before the chicane, to be fair.
Yeah, there you go, letting him through already.
So, yeah, there you go.
Good teamwork there. Oh! Nearly ran into the back of him, as we say. Woody's pitted as well. So again, the leader's pitting at the same time.
Yeah, critically. Again, Woody in and out.
Interestingly, this time, Woody on softs, James staying on the medium. I think Woody has chosen the soft to try and keep that gap, if not pull away again.
He's responding to Cal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Cal doing a great job, to be fair. 7-lap-old softs, and he's now only 8 seconds behind Woody, whereas earlier we was talking about the fact that Woody had 2 pit stops in the bag.
Yeah, I think obviously that gap would have reduced. I think we're looking at Cal on a 2-stop, Woody on a 3, which would have brought that gap down overall. But I think, yeah, Woody has just responded on the soft to cover off Cal and then both be on softs again at the end, assuming Woody has still got another set of softs available to him.
Yeah. Well, with a wet quali, I think a lot of these guys will have...
Yeah, they should do.
Yeah.
And then on the tyre strategy they chose before qualifying.
Oh, Dad's went very deep into the hairpin there, which has given James a good run. Obviously, we know these two was battling it out earlier, but James on fresher tyres now. DRS, and James has actually got quite a bit of overtake this time.
Yeah, a bit of an easier overtake that time as old Dad's gets a penalty for cutting the second part of that chicane.
Yeah, and critically, James has got the DRS to try and counteract the...
I think Sager's had a moment at the hairpin there.
I was just looking to try and figure out what was going on there.
I think it was Sager in the Williams that... I think he had a half spin coming out of the hairpin.
Right. Woody really opening that gap again now. Already gained a second, but this is his first flying lap, I think, on this soft tyres. So undoubtedly going to be going for the fastest lap. He's nearly out of overtake, and there he takes it with a 1:11.3.
Half a second quicker than what Cal managed earlier on. But on the lighter fuel, yeah, you could probably expect that.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if these guys get any penalties between now and the end of the race, because they are pushing so hard, the pair of them. They are doing so well to not get any penalties that go in this pace.
To have that pace, the accuracy and consistency mostly is just phenomenal. I don't think it'll be too long before these are competing with AL1 drivers.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm just looking through the. Quick look through the race director. Cal does have 2 warnings. Woody, nothing. No warnings whatsoever.
Wow. But he hasn't had the pressure this race. Cal has had a little bit of pressure. Because he had that awful start on the medium tyres, which were probably cold, and he dropped down to 4th, and he had to reclaim them positions, and he had to work harder for his race position than Woody has. But at the same time, you know, I can't take any credit away from Woody.
There's Maxi's 5th penalty.
That's a shame. He will be demoted a place now in the final standings where he finishes.
Yeah, that was a rule that I must have glazed over before I raced on Wednesday. Wasn't aware of, well, so I wasn't aware of it. I think I was aware of it, but I hadn't really worked it out in my head.
Yeah. Well, like you say, for your first race, you're not thinking of that. And
I was just glad to make it to the end without crashing.
Yeah.
Putting it in the wall. That was pretty much the main aim of the game on Wednesday for me.
I think that's what scares a lot of people off from wheel to wheel, because 100% distance is quite a chore.
Yes, certain tracks it is really, really hard work. In particular, I mean, obviously, Monaco being one of those. It's awful to do 100%.
But it's mad the amount of races I've finished, and I'm just like, couldn't I have had 5 more laps?
Yeah. It reminds me of a race years ago. I think I F on 2017, 100% race around Silverstone on another league that I drove in just for 3 races. I was just standing, led all the way, puncher on the final lap, finished P3.
Wow.
All that hard work. Yeah. Well, I got my puncher through the just coming out of Maggots and Beckett's, and fortunately the gaps weren't too large, so I got overtaken by 2 cars before the end. I think I even tried a sneaky lunge with a puncher just to recover a position back. Didn't quite work out. So when events like that happen where you work so hard, and then an instant or something not even of your own fault affects the result you get, it's demoralising.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit like our penalty dropping thing. I want to say it's a bit of a shame, but at the same time, if you're finishing the race first or second and you've got 6 or 7 penalties and the guy behind,
you've got to have that control method.
Has had a clean race, yeah.
It wasn't too bad for me. I finished P11 on the road, so if I'd finished in the points, then lost the points as a result, I might have been more gutted than I was. But I didn't finish in the points, so
this is another thing at wheel to wheel. We do score points down to 20th place now.
Oh yeah,
so first place gets 35 points.
Of course you do, yes.
It's basically the top 10 get the standard points plus 10. And then 11th place gets 10 points, then decreasing down to 20th getting 1 point.
Yeah.
So again, sorry to break it to you, you would have.
No, that's me just being very very tired after a long day at work.
No, but at the same time, like you say, you've done a few leagues and you kind of begin to think.
You got to work out the differences. Yeah, you got to work out what the differences.
You join a league and they go, read the rules and regs, and you go, yeah, okay, and then they all look much the same for a lot of the leagues, I suspect. But I do enjoy.
There's a lot of the blurb that's similar.
I do enjoy some of the particulars in wheel to wheel, because I'm somebody who does try to score as few penalties as possible. Not quite Mr. Clean, as one of our guys now 1R, and clearly we've got 4 Mr. Cleans in here, or Mrs. Cleans. We're not discriminative in any way in that.
Yeah, doing a good job so far, but there's still 23 laps to go to change that, and it's not easy to do 23 laps without a penalty around here.
Yeah, and James making his way past Dino. Yeah, as you say, yourself and I on Wednesday didn't do well on the penalty side, and I think
that's 2 penalties in 3 laps, I think, for James there. He's trying to rack them up. I think he's pushing hard.
He's now got on his 5th penalty, so he is going to be demoted a place. So old Dad's, even though he might be close enough to take the position by the end of what's happened there, I think
James has let his teammate through to lap him, but he's also lost a position in the process.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there. I almost think I can see some wing damage on James as well. Yes, he's missing his right end plate.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, we've missed him hitting the wall. That must have been out at turn 3 and 4, and I've just not seen it.
I was too busy looking and waffling on about the penalties. James will be demoted a place. Maxi will be demoted 2 places, but is looking to take a place on track from Prev now. Prev taking that strange line on the inside.
Oh, he's hit the back of him. He's not looking to overtake into turn 1 there.
No.
He's letting him keep the position after a little contact there. No, he didn't lose any wing in that. Quite fortunate. I'm pretty certain I lost. And another penalty.
No, that's not what he wants.
Be looking to make as many positions as possible now to compensate for the positions it will lose. Pits with 17 laps on the medium.
Oh, he's had a new wing.
That's really unfortunate. That's about half a stint there he's done on those mediums.
Still, he could take that set of mediums he's got, fresh set to the end.
Yep, should be fairly easy to do as long as there aren't any more hiccups en route.
And Prev,
Maxi's made it through.
Yeah, he had an awful chicane there, very close to the wall, and Maxi just capitalised on it. I think same as what he would have done the last time had he not been so close to the back of the Ferrari. "20 laps left here. Few people on their final stint now. Cal and Woody still needing to pit again before the end of this race.
Woody's done well to build that gap back up to nearly a pit stop again.
Yeah.
It basically means, I know he's on fresher tyres than Cal anyway, but it basically means he doesn't have to pit straight away. He can give it a few laps.
Yeah.
Before reacting.
Yeah, this is Woody's race to lose, but Cal is going to have to look to try and extend this soft tyre run, because I think 16 laps is about what most people were taking their soft tyres. He's going to have to extend that a few more laps.
Yeah, if he takes that at 18 now, I mean he'll have 18 lap stint at the end as well, if he evens it out.
But that might cost him in a bit of pace, because Woody could probably be comfortable on these soft tyres at the end with a bit of push, whereas Cal's got to conserve some of that tyre grip.
Yeah, and that's the gamble you take if between the 3 and the 2 stop. The 2 stop, you need the track position at the beginning of the stint to then to try and defend off more than anything else compared to the 3. He's just not going to have that. Not with the gap he is behind Woody at the moment.
No, but Cal does have more than a pit stop to his teammate behind. I mean, his teammate will be losing a position. Or was it 2? Let's have a look. He's losing 1 position at the moment.
Yeah, he got those 2 penalties very quick succession not too long ago. Again, all rather spread out at the moment.
So, Blood and Sand currently the biggest gainer in this Grand Prix, having gained 5 places. And to be fair, a lot of people haven't made many changes in this race. There's a few people who've dropped 3 places, but other than Blood and Sand, most people aren't far away from their starting position for this Grand Prix.
Yeah, which is, to be honest, which is actually quite surprising for a track like this. Normally you get a real manic beginning which just shuffles the pack up completely, but they were all very relatively sensible in the opening stages, and it's just that consistent element throughout the rest of the race so far.
Yeah, it was a good first couple of laps, to be fair. Like you say, nice and clean from what we could see from our spectators' view, at least anyway. We do have appeals process at Wheel to Wheel, so if any of the drivers feel that somebody else has had an unfair advantage or caused them any incident in the race, then they can post their point of views up or snippets of this stream into the appeals office, and the FIA stewards will review and award penalties where they feel appropriate.
Is there a dedicated set of drivers who do the FIA stewards, or is it anyone who's available on a certain night?
Anybody who's willing to turn up, to be fair. You know, we don't stick to a set amount of people, but it's typically the same people who turn up. So that we always make sure that it's an open thing. Anybody can turn up and have their opinion, and the only thing that we discourage is drivers commenting on
penalties they're involved in, basically.
Yes, and races they're involved in.
Yeah.
So typically AL1 people will comment on the AL2 race, and AL2 people will comment on the AL1 race, so that there's no personal invested interest.
Yeah. So Old Dad's is closing on the back of Blood and Sands. Gap's just over a second at the moment. Christina gets another penalty.
Yeah.
Old Dad's on a 21 lap younger tyres than Blood and Sands in front of him at the moment.
Yeah. Blood and Sand will probably be looking to pit soon. Probably timing it quite well for finishing off this Grand Prix with a soft set of tyres.
Yeah, I think he's managed his strategy very well. He's got the positions gained, the 5 positions gained so far, and he's played his strategy well so that he doesn't end up having to do too long on one stint to compensate for the next.
Yeah.
He's looking like he's going to lose position. Old Dad's here though. As he comes in.
Yeah.
On cue. 16 laps. If he's got softs available, which they should have, actually a soft stint to the end. Looks like it is.
Yeah, and I think he's probably only going to lose 1 position here. I reckon he might get the jump on Maxi on the pit lane exit.
Oh, it'll be tight.
Oh no, Maxi does get in ahead, but then fresh tyres on that Haas car, I think, will probably make light work of getting past the Renault.
Yeah, he should have. Oh, as Maxi nearly drops it on the exit of 4. So nearly hitting the wall before the pink of 5. But yeah, Blood and Sand should have the extra grip to give him the advantage to regain that position.
And then it's just a case of chasing down Sega de Cos and reclaiming that 6th place.
Yeah, looking at the cars in front, I would probably expect Sega to hit, unless he takes those mediums 35 or so laps. But other than that, the drivers in front of him look like they should be going to the end. So he's got to earn these positions. I thought he might have had a look at turn 1 there.
Yeah, he had the pace, but I think it would have been a very brave move to...
Just got to be careful not to knock his wing with the massive grip advantage he's currently got.
Yes. Cal 22 laps on them softs now, so... But
that's an impressive stint, but only 14 laps to go.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
There's no way you can be thinking about going to the end on those, surely. I think he's just looking to have a 10-lap blast, or maybe get it so he's on the same major tyres as Woody at the end, maybe.
Here we go, Blood and Sand making light work of passing Maxi there.
Another very good race from Blood and Sands.
Old Dad's picking up a penalty. I'm going to have to check the penalty situation
Yeah.
again because it's going to change this race. Old Dad's now going to be demoted a place, so Xerxes looking very strong for a podium now. Xerxes on tyres that can easily make the end of this race, and the driver in front of him is going to be demoted a finishing place. So Xerxes looking to be on the podium.
I don't know if I saw that, but Preva's got a penalty as well, so we're down to 3 drivers not on a penalty so far now.
I mean, it's still an outstanding feat to get this far in the race with only 1 penalty. But CHM is a regular for not picking up penalties, and Cal and Woody, I think their class is just above.
Yeah.
Above AL2.
London Sands on the back of Sega already. Thinking about a move into the final. Oh, Sega pits. There you go. Perfect timing. DRS, he's out of the way. Away he goes.
Yeah, as you say, Blood and Sands executed his strategy just perfect. Back up to 6th place, I think, to catch Old Dad's might be a tall order, but in fact, Old Dad's has got too many penalties, so he is going to inherit 5th.
And Cal finally pits. Another set of softs as expected, but only a 12-lap stint. 13-lap stint. Keep forgetting to add the 1 at the end of the race. I think you were very often doing that in our league races when you commentated on us.
Oh.
Just stays in front of James as well, does Cal. I would expect Woody just to react and pit now. Just cover it off, keep the gap as big as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's amazing because Cal ain't long come out the pits and now Woody's in.
Yeah.
Just how short this track is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you could think he's only just over half a minute behind at the moment, but that's
half a lap.
That's half a lap.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there is a league race with a full grid, the traffic situation is normally, well, pain in the backside.
Yes. Bonkers.
It's never normally a lap where you're not with another driver. But
also, nearly 60 laps into this race, and we still have every car.
Yes. Every car. We haven't had VSC or anything. A few little incidents. Nothing too major to an extent.
I'm touching wood.
Yeah, I might do the same actually. Don't want to jinx it. And to the final lap step, I think we'll see. I think what we might be looking at here is Woody and Cal maybe trading fastest laps. As he, there's his penalty.
Oh no! I mean, it probably ain't going to affect the finishing.
It's
race,
not
but
likely, not likely to. But
what's going on there? There's a letdown estate. I think he's lapping Dino. Looked to overshoot it quite a bit, but there was also they was being lapped by Woody at the time.
Yeah, this is a situation we will find ourselves in our race on Wednesday. Just the cars lapping cars, but those cars lapping were also being lapped. It's very, very confusing to work it out.
Cal now down into the 10s, 110.5.
Can Woody respond to that? Woody's fuel light is on as well, so he's not got much fuel to play with.
It's only just coming on, so he is.
Yeah, he's right on the cusp.
But he's 5 tenths quicker than his personal best, and he's got a purple sector too.
5 tenths up on his personal best will give him a 10.8, 10.7 at the moment.
But did Cal have DRS down the back straight off a back marker?
I'm not too sure about that. I didn't see the lap, unfortunately. Woody coming to the end of the lap. Does he take the fastest lap back? Yes. 10-4.
10-4.
And we've got
a yellow flag, but that looks to be the cars in front. I think it was CHM pulling over.
I think we also had James pulling over down the back straight as well. James Laws, that is.
Yeah, as you say, you know, 13 cars on track. Traffic does become a bit of an issue. But I did see McLaren James getting another penalty there.
Puts him on 6 penalties now.
Yeah. Maxi on 7 penalties. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to calculate all the drops by the end of the race. But all I know is the top 3 is likely to be Woody, Cal and Xerxes.
Yes, and unfortunately for Maxi, apart from Dino, everyone below him haven't got more than 4 penalties yet. Maxi with his, what's that, 9 penalties now? 7 penalties, sorry.
7, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few position drops there, unfortunately, for him at the moment. Yeah, showing him my maths isn't up to scratch.
Well, he's looking to drop to 10th at the minute. Blood and Sand and Old Dads are both dropping 1 position. And James is dropping 2. So in fact, that might put, the way the maths works out, that might put Sega up. That will put Sega up into 4th.
I do remember seeing a comment on Wednesday saying that you're trying to work out what the penalties. I wouldn't want to work that out.
It's straightforward when you look at it. To be fair, it just takes a bit of brain chewing. It'd look a bit bad if I couldn't figure it out as well, because you know, it's not long ago I was doing level 5 maths at college.
Krebs gets his 2nd penalty, I believe that is.
Yes.
So having gone 40 odd laps with no penalties, he's got 2 in the last 20, I'm afraid.
So yeah, only only Woody and CHM yet to get a penalty.
Has Woody even got any warnings yet? The last time I checked, he hadn't. It'd be impressive if he hasn't. Still. Oh, he's got 1. He's got 1 warning from lap 47. Which is massively impressive for a round here.
Xerxes, he's already net 3rd, but it looks like he might even take the place on track soon, as James Laws overtakes Dino down the back straight.
That's one aspect that these drivers don't have to worry about now when it comes to the penalties. They no longer have to ask Jeff for the details because it comes up on your screen for the drivers around you.
Yeah.
The penalties that people have got, which, to be honest, I don't kind of like, to be honest, because it kind of throws that aspect out the window. So it just makes it too easy for drivers to know that they can just sit behind someone maybe, without sort of thinking to ask Jeff or use their tools on the radio
Yeah.
To try and establish that information.
It used to be quite funny when everybody was just like, how many penalties you got? And people wouldn't, like, I'm not telling you.
Exactly. I liked that gamesmanship almost.
Yeah.
With it. I mean, yeah, to talk about gamesmanship about how many penalties you got, not the... it doesn't make you sound the best sometimes when you say, yeah, I've got 9. Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan of that addition to the game, personally.
No, but I used to constantly ask Jeff about the car in front and the car behind and try and figure out how many penalties they'd got. And he never told you a true answer anyway, because if they'd got a 5-second speeding in the pits, it wouldn't tell you it.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was a bit bizarre, but...
they never got the coding right with it, though, did they?
But I mean...
it will say, like, you've got 9 seconds, but... only 3 seconds added.
Yeah.
It never worked.
But I do think that there is some realism in it, because if one of the drivers got a time penalty in real life, your engineer would be on the radio to tell you, to be fair.
Yeah.
So you would know if the other drivers had a penalty.
Yeah, it's just that added advantage, having that visual element.
Yeah, you haven't even got to ask him or think about it.
Yeah, you just know straight away. But yeah, Xerxes looking to take P3 on the road to just basically earn that 3rd place outright without even the process of the penalties afterwards.
Yeah, which is how every racer wants to earn their position.
Yep. Most definitely. Especially if you end up winning a race on penalties.
Yeah.
Definitely want to win it on the roads.
Yeah, certainly not when it's like wheel-to-wheel penalty-wise as well. When they are actually 3rd, but they've got that many penalties, they're demoted.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, see me on the podium. Yeah, I shouldn't actually be there.
But, yeah, this is the closest battle on the track right now. Xerxes and James. Similar tyre life. Xerxes on 5 laps younger. But at this stage of the stint, it probably won't be too much an advantage. As we know, he doesn't really need to worry about making the overtake to earn P3.
No,
would he go for it anyway?
He did qualify 3rd, so he will be happy finishing 3rd, I do believe. Certainly in a league against Cal and Woody, because they are the forces to be reckoned with. Cal currently leading the Drivers' Champion, and Woody putting in the show that he has done here today.
Yeah, really set a statement today as Woody. Even though, did I remember hearing at the beginning of the stream that he missed the first 2 races, did he? Is that Woody?
He did, yes. He did.
Yeah, but even though missing the first 2 races, he's still a force to be reckoned with this championship. Well, these two are battling for 3rd. They're coming up to quite a bit of traffic in the next few laps, but might run out of laps. James was weaving there.
There was a penalty applied for weaving from Baku.
Oh.
And
Xerxes through and James gets another penalty.
Not what James would have wanted. Certainly losing the position, and secondly losing another position in the final standings through getting a penalty, and Cal gets another penalty. So
Cal's pitted again. Cal's gone for fastest lap again. He's on a brand new sauce all of a sudden.
So fastest lap currently with Woody. I think Woody now doesn't have enough laps. If he pitted, he'd only have an out lap.
Yeah, he's just there to get to the end now, and just hoping Cal doesn't take the fastest lap from him.
But only the 4 cars first 4 cars are on the lead lap. From 5th downwards has been lapped, which just shows the pace of these drivers.
Maxi, another penalty. That is 8 now. I'm going to stay on board with Cal here, see if he does get the fastest lap here.
There's 3/10 quicker through sector 1.
James hasn't given up on Xerxes for P3 on the roads. Hasn't dropped off.
Maybe he hasn't got a lot to lose now.
Yeah, got half a second up is Cal on his PB, so this should take the fastest lap back here.
Yeah, which I believe will be his 4th fastest lap this season in 8 races.
There was a 10.4. Now 10.1.
Wow.
As Woody's at the hairpin on this final lap. I'll leave it to you to bring it home.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just looking at James trying to take the position, still back from Xerxes. But yeah, as you say, Woody finishing off the final sector. Oh, and it looks like James has dropped it.
Oh, yes.
But Woody, phenomenal race. Took from 2nd place, took the race lead from there, and he's just had a phenomenal race from then. And he wins the Canadian Grand Prix, which is a fantastic feat. 35 seconds in front of Cal, but Cal did do a late stop to get the fastest lap, which he does currently hold. Xerxes taking 3rd place for now. There's only James behind him with half a wing, so I'm not really sure what happened there on that final lap. But definitely a coming together between those two. Cal crossing the line, 2nd place. Started on pole but had a terrible start on cold medium tyres. But to redeem himself, to get 2nd and fastest lap is still an incredible feat.
Xerxes over the line for P3. Good end of the race battle there with James, and would have had P3 anyway on penalty count back, but to learn it on the road just confirms it for him. And James passing across the line in P4.
Yeah. We'll see who we can get in for a post-race interview.
London Sands driver of the day. I think that's the 2nd race in a row he's been given driver of the day.
Yeah, because he's doing a phenomenal race. His strategy worked really well for him there as we commentated through the race.
And the Racing Point victory, so that cheers you up as well, Bloom, a little bit in the combined standings.
It does.
Got McLaren there, P2 as well.
So, Safman Upmar sat up there for Racing Point for winning as a constructors team. But we have Woody on the top step. Phenomenal race from him. Cal taking 2nd. Xerxes in 3rd. James crossing the line 4th, but he will be demoted a few places. But I do think that will put Sega to Cos in 4th. And as after that, I think it'd be difficult to tell you. So as they cross the line, James crossed the line 4th, Old Dad's 5th, Blood and Sand 6th, Sega to Cars 7th, but we know he will be promoted. Maxi in 8th, Pred in 9th, Old Dad's Letdown Estate in 10th, CHM in 11th, James Laws in 12th, and Dino in 13th. And congratulations to everybody for finishing that race. Didn't have too many incidents there. Didn't have too many pits for wings either, to be fair. So phenomenal race. But we have now got
very enjoyable to watch.
Our top 3 drivers in now for a post-race interview. So why don't we first of all go to Xerxes. How was that race for you? Was you expecting to be stood on the podium come the end? Cool. That is a good shout. I think I've got a few comments on the stream which I haven't been able to see either.
Alright, there we go. Go on.
I still can't. Oh, there we go, yeah. There's always a bit of a delay. But yes, so you qualified third and then you took third from the race. Is that what you was expecting?
I guess so. I mean, got caught up in some carnage at the back again. So it was just a recovery race from that point.
Yeah, we did see, I think it was a letdown estate and Sega, they had a small coming together, and I think yourself and James Laws or Blood and Sand.
Yeah, Blood and Sand hit him, then I hit the back of Blood and Sand. So yeah, we both needed new wings. So from that point on, it was just, once again, do the best you can, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that was a phenomenal recovery race. I seen you took James on the second to last lap.
Yeah, I was just going to stay behind him, but then I looked at the amount of penalties he had, and then if I got the position, that would give Mark a letdown estates an extra position as well. So I thought I'd go for it. Worked out in the end.
Yeah, and I think there was he was fighting back all the way to the end, and I think there was an instant on your final lap which we didn't quite catch on the stream.
Yeah, he spun second corner, I think it was. Tricky traction zone anyway, but especially on one mediums.
Did he just spin on his own, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, well done, and congratulations, Xerxes. Good points for Red Bull. As we know, you're in a tight battle for the combined constructors, so that will do you well. So let's now go to Cal. Second place after a phenomenal pole session. You had an incredibly quick time on the intermediates. Was it a wet setup that you used in quali?
No, it was a setup I got off time trial off someone, I think. I didn't really do a lot of practice this week, if I'm honest, but I took a setup. I can't remember who it was off, but it was just a standard setup, so I didn't change it. But I knew it was dry race, so I just left it as a dry setup. But my pace just wasn't as good, to be honest.
I was going to say, you seem to be struggling on the first stint there. Was there any particular reason for that, or was it just the medium tyres compared to the softs for the drivers around you?
So obviously me and Woody on the formation, that's quite funny. We both got disqualified, and then cold tyres and just a bit slower the first stint, to be honest. And then I was behind Aidan and James, and I thought, well, I might as well just fuel save and let them battle it out because they're going to be wasting their fuel in the IS. So I just kind of sat there behind them, a couple of seconds behind, and then when they pitted, I turned it up and tried to get the moves done in the pit lane rather than on track, really.
Yeah, we wasn't sure what you was doing strategy-wise. To begin with, you extended your medium stint. I think you took the mediums further than most people. And then you seemed to do quite a big stint on your first set of softs. Was that part of the plan?
I was I can't remember exactly why I went longer on the mediums at the start. It was something to do with, so I was basically judging it on where people were on track. So I didn't want to come out in traffic or anything like that. So I was just making sure that I was coming out in clean air, really. And then obviously I knew Woody was too quick, so I was just trying to make sure I came out in clean air, so I wasn't involved in any incidents or make my life any harder than it had to be. And then the softs I extended at the end because I knew Woody had a fresh set of softs waiting, so I wanted us to be able to basically do a quali lap at the end. And although so far at the road, if I had pitted for the softs slightly earlier, I would never have got the fastest lap. So I tried to drag it out as long as possible. And then I knew that when he pitted as well at the same time, I knew he used his last set of softs, and I still had a set in the garage, so pitted at the end again just to get the fastest lap. Which so pitted lap 67, lap 68 was it 69? Whichever lap it was, I validated the lap basically, but then I did another fastest. It wasn't faster than my the lap was invalidated, but it was still quicker than Woody's time, so that one will be validated. got me
Yeah,
the point at the end.
I think Woody had a 1:10.4 and your final fastest was a 1:10.1.
Yeah, the 1:10.1 was invalidated, so that shouldn't count. But the 1:10.2 that I did on the final lap, which is still fastest, wasn't invalidated, so that was the fastest lap.
Right. Oh, we still had it flash up as 1:10.1. To be fair.
Yeah, it still flashed up, but I invalidated on that lap, so I don't know
Right.
why. I don't know if the game still, even if you invalidate, it seems that the game still shows that as the fastest lap.
Yeah.
So.
No, but congratulations. Your 8th podium step, and fastest
So
lap.
it's consistency that's going to, I think, be a big factor in this championship. Me and Woody look like we're sort of at top 2. I know Xerxes has pace, but it's just not quite there in the race. So, yeah, I think as long as I keep picking up podiums, then it'll keep it close between me and Woody.
Yeah, congratulations on 2nd place, and as you mentioned, Woody, our race winner. How did you find that race?
I felt fine. I felt I controlled most of the race. I was just keeping an eye on the gaps most of the time, paying attention to other people's shoes, but pretty comfortable. I knew I was going to do the free stop anyway, so I just sort of went hard, didn't manage my tyres at any point, just kept going.
Yeah, you seem to have control of the race for most of it. The only times Cal was in front it looked like to be a strategy difference. But did you have cold tyres on the race start?
Don't think I did. When we touched at the end, it was just before the final chicane. So I felt off the line with me being on the softs and Cal being on the mediums. I had that extra grip off the start.
Yeah. Because you
It's certainly seemed evident because you just disappeared up the road in that first stint. I think you're pretty much a second a lap quicker at a point. So yeah, you really had a very good first stint there.
All in all, it was a nice race. It was pretty dull at times, just trying to maintain the pace at all times. And trying not to get any penalties as well, because I knew that they might come into a factor as well. But
Yeah, I think the only times I saw cars was Aidan and James battling in front of me for the first part of the race. You overtaking me, and aside from that, I don't think I ever saw anyone on track, other than obviously lapping cars. So we were just sort of driving around, I think, me and Woody, for most of the race, weren't we?
No, you two definitely forced to be reckoned with in AL2. Your consistency, the fact that the pair of you made 60 odd laps without picking up a penalty, and Woody finishing the race with no penalties. Did you even have a warning, Woody?
I had one warning.
One warning.
Yeah, I think he got on like lap 47 or something like that. So very impressive to only get one warning.
Correct.
I was laughing with mine because I was laughing with mine a bit because I got my first penalty when I ghosted through a letdown. I couldn't really see the apex. Got my first penalty. I came in to get the tyres for the fastest lap again, and then I went through him again and got another one. Exact same thing. So both my penalties was whilst I was in the letdowns car. So he really should have had the penalty.
But incredible racing from you both. Looking forward to seeing what can be done in France. Is France a good track for any of you?
Not done it really. I'm taking it race by race. So
I ain't going to be on my way on holiday.
Woody, is it?
I don't like the track anyway.
Is Woody
I think it will be okay. Yeah, not my strongest track, but it'll be alright.
Cool. Well, congratulations to you three. Thank you very much for Vern joining me on commentary.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next week for AL2 going round France. Thank you all.